Hello everybody and welcome to another IELTS Learning Tips video. It's just a short one today, really a reminder on some of the things that you need to remember when you're doing IELTS writing. So before we get started, I just wanted to remind you about my website, IELTSlearningtips.com, where you can sign up for more information and also some free resources. And if you're on Facebook, I would love you to join my Facebook group, which is IELTS Bands 7 and 8 Success Tips and Techniques. And there will be a link below for both of those that you can follow if you want to do either of those things. And I do post usually something every day in the Facebook group, as well as a few Facebook Lives. Okay, so my name is Bernie Wall and I am a trainer of IELTS. I've been working with IELTS students for over 20 years, and I specialise in Bands 7 and 8. And I also do most of my work with students who have taken the exam a few times and just can't seem to get over the line with their 7 and 8. So that's the work I do. So today, as I mentioned before, I want to talk to you about the things you need to remember when you're doing IELTS writing. And it's just a reminder of some of the things I've said before. So there are 10 things that I've listed out that you need to bear in mind when doing the writing. So let me just share this short slide with you. Whoops, for some reason it started at the end. Right, there we go. Okay, so these are 10 kind of important things that, if you don't remember them, are going to stop you from getting Bands 7 and 8 in your writing. So let's have a look, and you will have heard them before. So it's important that you write in your own voice. By that I mean, don't memorize. All examiners can spot things that are memorized. And also, don't try to copy exactly what somebody else is doing. I see a lot of students who say, send me your essays if somebody's got a high band. It's better to look at the models. It's better to take some of the vocabulary and some of the sentence structures and some of the different phrases from those essays and make them your own. Because unless you make them your own, when you get into the exam, you won't really be able to use them effectively. So find things that you like, words that you think, oh, I really want to use that, or a sentence structure that you really want to use, and then practice it to make it your own in your own voice. Okay. If you haven't looked at the band descriptors, it's probably worth looking at them just to see exactly what the examiner is going to be looking for when they see your tasks. Because if you don't do those things that are written in the band descriptors, then you won't get that band. So things like complex sentences, for example, are a must. Things like a wide range of vocabulary and a lot of different structures and different ways of saying more or less the same thing, particularly in task 1, are really important. So it's worth looking at the descriptors and just seeing if you can see that you do include those things in your writing. Okay, grammar's really important. Sometimes students say to me, but if I have really good ideas, then it should be fine. No, it will not be fine. It will never be fine if you have grammar errors, because grammar errors mean not good language. And this is a language exam. So if there are grammar errors you make, you must eliminate them, or you must at least be aware of them so that you can correct them in the exam. If you don't know whether you make grammar errors, then it's quite important. In fact, I would say it's vital that you find out. So get somebody to check it, ask them specifically. Checking your work and just giving you a band 6 or 6.5 is not enough. You need to know, why is it 6.5? What am I doing that's stopping me from getting 7? So if you get somebody, a teacher ideally, to check your writing, then ask them specifically, what do I need to fix? And they should be able to tell you which areas of grammar you need to look at. And I would advise you strongly to go and look at those so that it's clear. Okay, repetition is a great thing to keep you at band 6.5. Don't repeat the same words. For example, in task 1, a lot of students use respectively. Don't use it more than once. If you have a really good word, only use it once, because the second time you use it makes it weaker. So lots of synonyms, look at words like people, children, find other ways of saying it, and make sure those other ways are useful, because sometimes students use words which are very informal, like kids. Kids has no place in IELTS writing. In speaking, fine, but not in writing. It's far too informal. So think about the synonyms you pick. They have got to be the right words for the style of task 2 or the style of task 1. The only informal language you should have in writing is in the general training informal letter. Otherwise, everything needs to be formal. And in academic, it needs to be more than formal. It needs to be academic style. Make a plan. Lots of students don't plan. I don't know anybody except a really good novelist who is a native speaker who can write without planning. And even those people plan. So don't not plan. A plan will help you to make sure you manage coherence, make sure you manage your grammar, make sure you write in the right way, make sure you use a lot of different sentence structures and vocabulary. It will help you to do your writing more quickly, and it will give you time to do correction. All of that can be solved by making a good plan. And I can't say it strongly enough. Okay, right. I should have done this coming in one at a time, but never mind. Monitor your time. Now, if you're just starting out with writing, I wouldn't worry about the time. Your first job is to get some writing that's band 7. And if it takes you 2 hours to do it, it isn't a problem, because once you know how, you can do it faster. If you don't know how, it doesn't matter how much time you're spending, you will never do it. So first of all, focus on getting a good band 7, and then start to look at the time. So if your writing is taking you an hour and a half, that's fine. If it's at band 7 and there are a few mistakes in it, then you can start to pull that back. And the more you practice, the shorter it will take for you to do those tasks. But as I mentioned before in number 5, if you can do a good plan, it will cut the time dramatically. So if you can't manage to do it in the time, but your essay is at band 7 and your writing is at band 7, then the timing problem is to do with your planning. You're probably spending too long thinking about ideas and then pondering in the middle of your writing about what to write next. So focus on your planning. And if you can get that right, I think you'll find the time will disappear. Okay, less is more. Don't keep writing a task after a task. If a student gives me 4 tasks, I can tell you absolutely 100% they will have all the same mistakes. You cannot improve unless you get feedback. So after each task, you need to get some feedback. Otherwise, you just keep going round in circles, doing the same things over and over. It is possible to do this by yourself, but it will take a very long time. So if you can find someone, and this is number 8, so do your tasks one at a time, get someone to check. Even if that person is not a teacher, it's better if they are. But even if it's somebody who has very good English, they'll be able to point out some areas that are incorrect. Now, whether they can help you to fix it is another question, but at least they can say, oh, that's not quite right, or that doesn't sound right. And then you can look at it yourself and try and work out what's wrong with it. If you're in a position where you can get a teacher, and even better, an IELTS teacher to check it, then you will know exactly what you need to fix. And get thorough feedback. If your teacher just says, oh, it's band 6, it's not enough. They're not doing a good job. They should be able to tell you why it's band 6, why it's not 6.5, or why it's not 7. What is it exactly that I need to fix? Just getting a band is like getting it from the examiner without any feedback. So if you're working with a teacher, make sure that teacher gives you some really good feedback so that you can fix things and move forwards. And that's number 10. Keep on practicing, keep on improving, but don't always just keep doing test after test. So if you have a problem with some grammar, work on the grammar. If you have a problem with timing, work on your planning. So, you know, all of your writing work does not have to be just writing tasks. There are lots of other things. How's your punctuation? How's your spelling? All of these small areas need attention as well. So those are the 10 things that I've picked out that I see students not doing, and it's really important that you do them. Okay, so finally, this is how you can connect with me through my Facebook group or my website. And if any of you want to talk to me about writing, I'm more than happy. And just put a message either in my Facebook group, or you'll find on my website a link where you can tell me something about your IELTS challenges, and then we can hop on Skype or Zoom and have a chat. So I'm always open to that, and I speak to students all the time about their IELTS and the challenges they're facing. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope that was useful. Please do those things, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.